Hello everyone, and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, Golgari Ramp. I wanted to try a different version of Golgari because a lot of mid-range decks aren't exactly working. I feel like what's currently going on in the metagame is that there are a bunch of degenerate aggro decks that are very fast. And then there are a lot of very slow, grindy control style decks. And what happened with a lot of mid-range deck is, well, you can either tech against one or the other. When you play aggro, there's only one way to play it. When you play control, there's only one way to play it. But when you play mid-range, you have to anticipate what kind of opponent you're fighting and try to mulligan, try to tech against that specific type, and then lose the other matchup, which isn't very fun. So you have to figure out exactly how to fight it. And I had to make a lot of cuts in this deck and shift with this deck. So originally, the idea was that I want to ramp with Overlord or Hauntwoods and then steal people's card with Outrageous Robbery. Still the idea of this deck. But I had to cut a lot of the later game cards like Virtue and stuff. Even though I have Up the Beanstalk, the only thing that triggers are actually just Outrageous Robbery, our Deadly Cover-Up, and Overlord Hauntwood. That's about it. And Up the Beanstalk is a little bit of card draw, not a crazy amount of card draw. The rest of the cards are going to help us fight the early game to have both tempo advantage and also, well, just kill a lot of our opponent's creatures. So in the early game, we're going to have 2 cut down and 3 duress, making sure that we have early game removal, but more importantly, we get to look at their hand and figure out what they're playing. Then we also have 2 Ghost Vacuum. This is a new card that I really like teching instead of the Black Leyline. Because the Black Leyline doesn't do much and doesn't threaten our opponent as often when it's not a graveyard, when our opponent's not playing a graveyard deck. Whereas in a Ghost Vacuum, we can always just vacuum up creatures and then exile creatures on their graveyard and eventually pay 6 to bring them all back as 1/1s. It's pretty good. Alright, so that's why I have 2 Ghost Vacuums in the deck. On 2 mana removal, we got 4 Go for the Throw, 2 Nowhere to Run, 3 Tear Asunder. So we got a lot of removal. No matter what they have, we can remove them. And I have 3 Tear Asunder because there's a lot of artifacts and enchantments running around in the current metagame. So we can use this as a core removal for their talents or their unholy Annex, I think that's what it's called, the new Phyrexian Arena. Yeah, we got a lot to fight through. I also have 4 Up the Beanstalk. You definitely need 4 of this because you need the card draw. And then 1 Pillage the Bog to try to basically help tutor out a card that we need, right? This is a fake tutor, but when we can ramp ourselves for a lot of lands, this actually can work as an actual tutor at some point. Then we also have, in the 3-drop, 1 Liliana and 3 Glissa. A lot of the decks run just 3 Glissa and try to get card draw. What I notice is that, well, everybody is teching against creatures, so a lot of people just have go for the throws. Glissa will just die as soon as she hits the board, and Liliana can serve as a anti-control card. So make our opponent discard cards, make our opponent sack creatures, force them to think about what they want to do with their hand. And just 1-off is enough, but definitely do have 1-off. Then on the 4-drop, we have 2 Sheoldred. Sheoldred's obviously very good against, burn decks and aggro decks because we can gain a lot of life back. But Sheoldred can also get sucked up by the vacuum and then come back out as a constant life gainer itself. That's pretty fun. So that's why there's still 2 Sheoldreds in the deck. Sheoldred's also a big threat. Our opponent has to answer our Sheoldred, and then the actual win con of the deck comes in Overlord of the Hauntwoods. 5 mana card that we can play for 3 mana, which will trigger up the Beanstalk. Very importantly, 3 mana to draw a card and ramp a card, or ramp a land, is not bad. So that's why Overlord the Hauntwood is the main card of this deck. You do have to have 4 off, and it's a mythic, so that's a little bit hard. Make sure you, I would recommend just go and craft the Overlord of the Hauntwood if you have 4 mythic rare card, mythic wild card. That's what I meant to say. Because I think this is probably the best card that come out of Duskmourn for control player, for slower late game type players. And then we have 2 Deadly Cover-Up. This Deadly Cover-Up is not just for board wipe, of course you can do that, but it's more important to surgical extract your opponent. So a lot of times your opponent has 1 win con. If you're able to get rid of all of them with a Deadly Cover-Up, you win. So yeah, the Deadly Cover-Up is also very useful in those kind of scenario. And of course, our ultimate win con is 2 Outrageous Robbery, where we can ramp ourselves with all of our lands and with the Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Then Outrageous Robbery can rob them for like 10, 15 cards, and that's how we win. Then we can take their cards and win with their deck. That's the idea. And of course, then we talk about the land base. In the land base, we have 26 lands for a ramp deck. We have 3 swamps, 3 forests, 4 Blooming Marsh, 4 Llanowar Wastes, 4 Restless Cottage, 4 Underground Mortuary, and then 2 demo fields and 2 fountain ports in case we need to use our utility lands for utility. And that's the whole idea. Now let's go into the games. Alright, our opponent is Ata. Ata. Okay, is that Fist of the North Star? I don't remember anymore. Oh my, that's... Oh, such a bad hand. Like, can I keep this hand with 2 demo fields? I don't know what they're playing. 2 demo fields feels bad though. I'm gonna go down a card. The Bog. I mean, bogging out a forest also isn't that great, so I guess we'll mulligan this. Alright, slightly better. Let's put away the robbery. It's a little slow right now. At the start, I don't really need to rob anyone starting off the game, so... Lush Portico. Show a swamp. I still don't have 2 green for a Hauntwood, right? They're gonna go up a Beanstalk. They're gonna draw a card. We're gonna tear that Beanstalk of Thunder. None of that, please. They're gonna say this town ain't big enough. We're gonna go up another Beanstalk. Alright. Do we stop the Beanstalk? Is this town big enough for the 2 of us? So I play Glissa here, he bounces it, I get nothing out of that. Let's tear their Beanstalk. That's their card advantage. We gotta stop the card advantage from advantaging. Now is the town big enough for the 2 of us? Yes, it is. If I play Glissa, what would happen here? Guess we'll find out, right? He can bounce it? He can bounce it. He can bounce Glissa. He can counter Glissa if he has a counter spell. I don't think so. That was 1 blue. But mainly, we got rid of 2 of the Beanstalk, which is the scariest card in that deck. It's very important for us to get rid of that. Alright, Glissi. Now you can do your thing. Probably gonna get bounced. No, oh. Just gonna let me draw a card here? Leyline Binding. Well... I guess that's fine. Does he have a counter spell as well? That would be pretty bad, huh? Nope, we got a little rampy ramp. Herd Migration. Oh, it's just... Is it just Domain? It could be. Weird to have Yavimaya Coast in a Domain deck. But if it's just Domain, we're gonna be in a bit of trouble. Not gonna lie. Not sure how to fight Domain, because if he just goes off on us. Do we go up a Beanstalk? Let's do it. Sure that he just wants to Mirrex us, right? I don't think that matters as much as us ramping quickly. What can he do in Domain? Is he Domain? Yavimaya Coast is kind of weird for a Domain deck. We get hit by 1. I think we can get hit by 1, right? I just want to ramp quicker. Also draw a card here. I could draw a land. Yeah, I do draw a land. That's pretty important. Mortuary. Duress. Okay, then I can figure out what he is. We're gonna get hit by the Mirrex. Let's just hope we don't die to the Mirrex. Maybe we shouldn't die to the Mirrex because we can demo field the Mirrex at least once. You're not gonna play his planes? There you go. Alright. Let's arrest you. You gotta do something, or I will look at your hand and discard all of your good cards. A doppelgang. Yikes. Alright, get rid of that. None of that, please. And then we can pop the Mirrex. Break that as well. Because we can. Get a land out here. Probably. I don't think it matters if it's a swamp or a forest. Yeah, swamp or forest. I'm just gonna get a swamp anyways. Let's get Glissa out here. That's our second Glissa. That kind of makes the Leyline Binding pointless. Well, not pointless, but the Glissa under the Leyline Binding pointless. Does he just want to rush us? No, he's gonna scry, right? Nope. Oh, yeah, that's scry. I'm sorry. 2 to the top. Oh boy. What could be at the top? Up a beanstalk. Okay. Draws a card. I hope that card you drew kills Glissa, because if it doesn't, it's gonna be bad. Oh, okay. Huh. Didn't want to play it as an Overlord? I would have played it as an Overlord. Still have interaction? It's probably a Leyline Binding, to be fair. Flood Maul. Not a Leyline Binding, but just as annoying, I guess. Glissa's gonna have to come back up. Alright, one of our Overlord is live. It's gonna help ramp us slowly. Ooh, he drew a land. That's really good for us, because that just means he's drawing dead. Now the question is, do we break the Overlord or do we break the Beanstalk? I probably break the Beanstalk. I can kill the Overlord. Let's break the Beanstalk. No card draw for you. How many cards do I want to draw? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can take 5 cards from him and still have 1 mana open. Let's try that. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 5 cards, 7. I draw a card. That's up to Beanstalk. Oh boy. Alright. GG. GG. You got your whole deck stowed. Alright, our opponent is Kocha. Kocha goes first. We got Duress and Liliana and go for the throw, which all looks good, but can all fall apart if our opponent's too aggro, which happens all the time. Got Moda 6. This is going to be an aggressive kind of game. Sort of aggressive kind of game, I guess. I don't know. Drop a cottage. I might not need the go for the throw, to be fair. So no, I think I still do those. Oh man, I need the robbery. Okay, you know what? It's gonna make me discard a card. Get discard the first robbery. Fear of isolation. Dude, that's not a fair card at all. Let me Duress you. Just a bunch of bounce? Alright, let's stop the hopeless nightmare from happening. Do we Lily here? If we Lily, he can just return both cards. I mean, it's fine. We get our tempo play.
No more distractions.
I only got one,
Let's
so
make this quick.
if he does the discounting big enough, I think we bounce both. Right? So I bounce my Liliana, he bounces Fear, and he loses a card. It's fine.
Sacrifices must be made.
Annex. Oh, that's bad. He draws an extra card for that. I do get a land, but it's not fast enough. Gotta tear the Annex of Thunder. We pass our turn. This is what happens when we go second. A lot more dangerous things happen. Can't use the Virtue. Gotta pass turn. If he does nothing, I guess I'll try to steal 2 cards from him. Draw 2 is better than draw nothing. If he has a counter spell, he'll have to use it now. Ooh, Ritual Chamber. He's probably gonna kill me, huh? It's not fun to not draw lands. That's a bona fide guarantee that he draws his Fountain Core. Just gonna take 2 more cards on me. I can't take lands from either side of the deck, so well, there are some lands. Here they are. Do I do anything? Makes a fish. Which gives me a target for Virtue. Is this instant? It's not instant. But he could definitely just sack it to the Fountain Core, right? Let's see, my turn. I'll make one. Let me try to ramp. Come on. Be cool. Thank you. Do I have an attack? No. It's gonna be a chump. Really? He's gonna try to win on the fish? Hopeless Nightmare? That's cool. Discard Virtue. I can cut one of it down. Makes him use the Fountain Core, right? If I pass the damage, what happens? I lose my fish. What does that? Oh, he didn't sack. That's interesting. I might have a Dark Slick Shore, but I don't have counter spells in his deck. Does he have counter spells in his deck? He's just gonna bounce stuff? So that's kind of worrying, right? I don't want to bounce my stuff. Alright, I guess I'll just let all the Virtues die, because I'm not gonna be able to play the Virtues anyways. It's just way too much life for me to take right now. Nowhere to run. Okay. So he's got nothing left in hand. We can play the Ritual Chamber. But the thing about playing the Ritual Chamber, right, is I can make a 5/5, but if he has a bounce spell, he gets his Ritual Chamber back. That's pretty scary. So I think I play it. Let me get your 5/5. Did you top deck a good card? I couldn't even top deck lands from both of our decks, so here we are. He didn't turn a reef life. Oh, that's interesting. Am I playing a land here? Yes, I am.
When I win, you're telling me what you know about the Raven Man.
Is it make a fish to sack? Okay.
Off you go.
So play Fear of Isolation. Return back my Liliana. Not gonna leave her out there to dry like that. Attacking for 6 is a lot. What? He was... Dude. You're not lost yet. Don't be such a coward. Alright, well, a win is a win. Alright, our opponent is... Danny New. Did he, though? Did he really? Alright, he knew that he's a loser, so they let him go first. Llanowar Wastes. The 2 lands I have in my hand are both ping lands. This is gonna be bad. Wow. Okay. I guess we'll have to fight through this. Is that 3 lightning strikes? He's just gonna do this. Okay. That's the way you're gonna... That's the way it goes, right? It's the way you want to fight it. It's the way we're gonna do this. Ridge. It's 4 mana to activate a ridge. So that means... Draw a card and ping ourselves for 1. That's a land. Okay. Dude, what a freaking loser. Couldn't forge me once and you quit? I'm trying 3. Alright. I need to cut down. The ring of bad card design seems to be living on forever. Wi-Fi hero. Manifold mouse. Well, I don't think it matters. Kill the hero. Why did I... Too salty. Oh, too salty. Screaming Nemesis. Hi.
Those who get in my way tend to return. One of your friends has to leave.
Here. He's coming after Lily. I mean, if he comes after Lily, at least he's not killing me, right?
I'll be back with
Higher
friends.
It's the Restless last card. Shock me. What does this do? If it dealt damage, you can pump it. Maybe that's all he's gonna do. I don't know why I killed him on this turn. I could have waited. Manifold Mouse. Yeah, it's important for his aggro players to always have the best card draw every turn. Because otherwise they stop playing. They'll stop playing entirely. They're both double striking. I take you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all gonna deal 2 damage to me each. Do I care about that? I take 6, I go down to 7. Yeah, then I cover up. I thought it was a sorcery. Down to 6 now. That's dangerous, right? I go down to 6. Cut down, that's more important. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why not? 6, right? And stop. What are the scariest cards? Is Screaming Nemesis, a Heartfire Hero? They're all kind of scary. I guess the Screaming Nemesis. He's 4 down his deck. Yeah. Pretty shitty deck. I gotta say, you got a pretty shitty deck going there. Is everything alright? Get those crap out of my way. Heartfire Hero, top deck. Yeah. Now he's gonna top deck a pump spell. Dude! I thought you said no one lives forever. Actually, that makes sense. What am I saying? Alright, our opponent is Van Wolfgang. Wolfgang the Van. We're gonna go first. We got a Duress. Everything looks good. Something's gonna fuck it up. I can guarantee you something's gonna fuck this up. Too good of a hand, and Arena does not do that to you. Not to me. So this is the deck we're facing. Drop the Helping Hand. Turn 1, Duress, turn 2, Duress. Drop the Moment of Truth. We get our vacuum. It's important to have a vacuum, right? I... There's no stop. Okay. Surveil. Tosses a land. I'm gonna stop my vacuum. You're not stopping my vacuum. Should probably stop my vacuum there. He's gonna bounce my vacuum, right? I think that's the plan. Doesn't have enough to play the Oculus yet, I think. It's gonna give me a fish. Exile. Open hand. Now there's only 5. He needs to play 2 cards to get there. Make sure I put a break there so that he does not get to the abhorrent terror right away. Flood Maul again. G. Yep. Get the fuck out of here. Alright, our opponent is Sky Seraph. You look like a dude. You're no Sky Seraph. You're some dude with a hamster. You're just lucky he's not a raccoon, or New York's gonna come after you. Did they say we go first? What? That's not allowed. Okay, Sheoldred, you can go. Thank you for your service. You have a Hushwood and a Toad. I was not expecting any of this. Obviously, I don't have my whatever that black card is called that I can target hexproof cards. So this is gonna be a while. Another Admirer. And dig deeper. Dig a lot deeper. Well, not deep enough. What the hell is this? Whenever one or more artifacts you control enters, put 2+1 on counter. I have no idea what's going on. What does that deck do? Do I Ghost Vacuum? Does that do anything? Is it worth it? Do I just steal a card? I have no clue. Honestly, I have no clue what's going on, but it's probably bad, right? Another elf. Ethereal armor. Yeah, good thing I have Tear Asunder. What the hell is this? One more artifact enters, you put 2+1 on counter. And whenever enchantment enters, you do stuff too. It's just, I guess. Alright, well, I got this thing going on, so let's get to this. Draw 2 cards too. Alright, that's a lot of removal, but let me take out all those Toadstool models. Calyx, Ethereal Armor, Audacity, Hunter's Talon. Alright. That's the deck you're running. That you can do that. Shelter by Fate. Or Shelter by Ghost. Shelter by Fate sounds like a pretty cool deck. Optimistic Scavenger, that's not a Calyx. Audacity. audacious of you. Yeah. I don't know. Do I just throw out? Well, let me throw out first, right? Gets to draw a card. Could that one card that he draw be a protection spell? I mean, if it is, I'm kind of screwed, right? I'm kind of screwed anyway, so here's Shelly. That card is not protection spell. So at least that comes. That's too many cards. You get to draw a card. Lose 2 lives. And you win the game. What a coward. Please play it out. I always play it out even if I lose. Alright, our opponent is Unashamed Peter. You should be a little ashamed. Your name is Peter. Alright, we got Duress turn 1, right? That's something. Hello. Lush Portico. I'm gonna Duress you. Ooh, okay. No beanstalk for you. And now I'm gonna mortuary, probably. Yeah, I'm gonna mortuary. Tear? I can use a tear if he has another beanstalk. So, I'm gonna start playing the Overlords. And they're gonna start ramping me. He's gonna get Atraxid out. It's not just hard casted, right? That's something that we're gonna have to fight through. I'm not sure how, but we're gonna have to fight through the Atraxid. Okay. I think I just let Sheoldred get Leyline Binding. Is there anything? Nah, let's just get Sheoldred get Leyline Binding. Oh, there's no interaction. Oh. Sheoldred's gonna get Sunfall then. Yeah. That was an obvious interaction, I think. I'm gonna play the Overlord and see how he interacts, or how he reacts. Traxie's coming. He's gonna let my Overlord attack. At least I'll get the land. Okay, it's just a chump. Just a chump. I am pretty sure that what's coming next. That what's coming next is going to be a Sunfall, but there's no reason for me to pillage the bog right now since I already played the land. What else can I play this turn that? What else can I play that fights a Sunfall? I don't think there is. He plays the Atraxa. Okay. He's got Overlord, he got Rest in Peace. Interesting card. There's a lot of enchantments. Takes a lot of cards, right? Yeah, he takes a lot of cards. So, what am I doing here? I can't really use this mana for anything. I don't want to deadly cover up this, for sure. After this card. And now I pillage. Intelligent Ghost Vacuum now. I don't think that's worth it. Do I have an Outrageous Robbery? Robbery's pretty nice, right? He's down to 6. He's got to answer my board. Tear Asunder. Do I want to Tear Asunder? Yeah, I think that's fine. Alright, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 cards. So we'll do stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, QQ? Alright, so that's 7. I can take 7 cards from it. Do I do it right now or do I do it in response? No, I do it right now. Double Line Binding is fun. Also, her migration because I have domain. That would also be fun. Nisa. Is Nisa gonna save him?
I will weed out dissent in our world. Phyrexia is the future.
Alright. Do I have enough? 1, 2, there's 4 here. Oh no, there's 5 here. So that's 7 for her migration. I think I have enough. I should have enough. So that means I can up the beanstalk first. Draw a card. That's an Overlord. We Tear Asunder your Nisa. And then we her migration. It's a bunch of beasts. Not letting off the pressure for a second here. He plays the attraction. Which, I mean, you can do that. So if it helps. He needs to get the temporary lockdown, right? I think that's what he needs. Did he play a land this turn? I don't think he did. Nope. Does he have an untapped land? Rest in peace. Also, he didn't take his ley line. That's really weird. Gee, I guess. Yeah, you don't know how to play that deck, do you? Should have taken a ley line, and at the very least, he could have stopped me from removing his stuff, maybe. Actually, he doesn't know that I stole his ley line, right? GG. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you've seen all of those games, how does this deck feel? I gotta say, I was struggling a bit in the beginning. I kind of lost a bunch of games straight to the Reanimator deck. That blue-white Reanimator deck that brings back the Oculus. Oh, that deck is so annoying. And it's so hard to fight against if you don't have Graveyard Hate. And even if you do have Graveyard Hate, like Ghost Vacuum or Black Leyline, they do have interactions with them, like the bounce spell, the Soul Partition and things like that, right? So that deck is kind of the bane of a lot of mid-range existence right now. You can probably get through them with a slower control-y grind that has things like Rest in Peace, things like the more Black Leyline, and forcing them to not be able to play anything because everything they mill will get exiled. That's one way. Or you can go super aggro and just kind of burn them out before they're able to do their combo. That's another way. But with the mid-range deck, now it all becomes kind of a test of wits. How are you going to outsmart your opponent? How are you going to out-tech your opponent? How are you going to draw your correct cards? And against that deck, a lot of these cards are dead draws, right? Cut downs, go for the throws, nowhere to run. A lot of those are just dead draws. And what you really want to get is your Ghost Vacuum and be able to stick a Ghost Vacuum. And that becomes a harder task. Not undoable, but not impossible, but a harder task. And so I would say that this deck definitely has a boogeyman against it. And that boogeyman is that blue-white Reanimator deck. If we're able to figure out how to tackle that deck, this deck will be really good. But I haven't really figured it out yet. I don't know what I should tech out. Maybe it'll be the Liliana. Maybe it'll be the Glissa. Maybe it's one, or maybe it's taking out the Sheoldreds. I'm not sure. But right now, I feel like I can beat any other deck. But whenever that deck is queued up in a matchmaker, by the matchmaker, I should say, that I hesitate a little, and I really don't want to fight that game. But that's fair, right? That if you have a deck out there that straight up beat your deck, that means your deck is not good enough. So there is probably some tech that needs to go through this, and maybe as Foundations being released, we're going to get some help. I haven't seen all the spoilers yet, but I'm sure there's going to be some shakeup in the metagame, because even though Foundation is technically a core set, it's looking pretty good, pretty strong. So let's hope that it brings us some crazy cards. All right, that's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.